Two words. Two words that I wonder if we realize how big these words are. Two words. Two words that I wonder if we realize how much these words still apply to us today, as much as they did to those that initially heard these two words approximately 2,000 years ago. Two words, lechakarai in Hebrew, akaluthai moi in the Koine Greek in which the New Testament was written. Two words, follow me. Now, these two words, four young fishermen by the Sea of Galilee would not have expected to hear directed towards them. You see, these two words, these are the two words spoken by the rabbi to the young man that had approached him to become one of his disciples. And when the rabbi had accepted that candidate for discipleship as one of his disciples, he would say to him, follow me. And this would have been somebody that had made it through the upper levels of Jewish education, had done more than just the initial schooling that all Jewish males did, but would have gone to the next levels and studied and learned and prepared himself and would pass the rabbi's test to become his disciple. And yet, four young men, four young fishermen by the Sea of Galilee had Jesus come up to them and say, follow me. They knew what was being said to them. They understood how big those words were, and they left it all and followed him. These are not two words that a tax collector, a publican, somebody that was a traitor of his people, somebody that was a collaborator with their pagan overlords, their oppressors, he would not expect a rabbi, a teacher of the Jews, to come up to him and say, follow me. And yet these are the words that Matthew heard from Jesus. He understood the seriousness of what was being said. All these young men would have understood this. They would have understood the depth, the seriousness of what was being said. This was more than just, we hear these words and we think, follow me. Well, follow where? We just picture somebody walking after somebody else, and they literally would. They would talk about being covered in the dust of your rabbi, and this is a reference to walking on the dusty roads and literally getting dust on you from walking behind your rabbi. But it was so much more than this, that they would learn from their rabbi, not just to know some things, but spend vast amounts of time with him, watching him, learning him, doing their best to become just like their rabbi. These young men would have understood what these two words meant. And they left it all and followed him. And here's the thing. When we read these accounts and we understand what they would have understood, and we see how they left all to follow him, Jesus extended those words to everyone. What did he say in Matthew 28:19? To make what? Disciples of all the nations. Christianity is a connection to the discipleship of the first century. Who were called Christians first in Antioch? Disciples. The words of Jesus, follow me, are for us today as well. Those men understood. Those four fishermen that would have never expected to be extended an invitation to become the disciple of a rabbi, much less being the disciple of the Christ or that outcast publican. he still makes that invitation today. Jesus says to all of us, follow me.